Mohammed.
How are you?
Listen, bro, I am blessed. I'm ready to go. I'm actually pretty hungry, guys. Like, not gonna lie, if you live in Oakville, you know there's nothing good to eat. Just saying, all the restaurants are trash here.
Why didn't you eat from before?
I did, but like, the thing is, like, when you're talking, you're hyped, you get hungry. So all this, like, everything, all this work is making me hungry. But definitely after this podcast, your boy's going to go to eat. Your boy's going to go eat.
Perfect, 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 perfect.
Ah, you sound like someone I know.
I don't know
Just
who
joking.
that is.
I'm just
Uh,
joking.
for those new, welcome to the show. What are you saying? My name is Mohammed, rocking with the co-host Osama. Make sure to follow us at Ways 2.0. That's their page on Instagram at Ways 2.0. You can follow Osama at Kusa300. Once again, at Kusa300. My page is Mohammed.global. Lastly, at Mohammed.global. Make sure to like, comment, share, and subscribe. Every video and episode is available on Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. You can listen to us on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, Radio Public, Breaker, Anchor, Outbreak. No, I'm sorry, Overcast, and what else? There's a lot of platforms. Pretty much, we're all over the place. Make sure to give us feedbacks. Make sure to let us know
Yes,
what you want to
sir.
talk about. Any questions? Want to be if you want to be a guest on the show? Hit us up. Let us know. It's all about providing better
Actually,
content, getting better, and growing.
talking to a friend, and they were actually someone that I met recently, and they were looking at our podcast and they loved it. So I just shout out to them.
What is the person's name?
Yeah, I legit don't know their name,
All right,
but
person, Osama doesn't know your name because he doesn't like you or her. Shout out to you. Thank you for watching our videos, listening. I mean,
we'll keep
and
their
we'll make
person
sure to have
ident.
you on the show.
That is very true. Yeah, but yeah. Anyways, today we have a special guest, a friend of mine. His name is Vash
Vash with the V.
with the with the VS, and this guy hit me up. He's like, "Yo, I want to come on." I'm like, "I bet." And he's like, "Let's speak about technology." I'm like, "Okay, man, we'll do it up." Obviously, there's a lot of stuff we could talk about within technology. We Muhammad actually filmed a video with our former partner, which did not come out about technology. Amazing episode, by the way.
Yeah, it's
Are you good?
definitely one of my favorite. I'm trying to figure out how to sit. Hold
Okay.
on.
This guy's always having a problem how to say. Yeah, definitely an amazing episode that we had, nonetheless.
One of my favorite unreleased episodes, and the thing is, I haven't seen it yet, so I haven't seen the playback. I
Yeah.
definitely want to watch it because the episode was about the future as far as technology, and that was insane. As far as that
Hmm.
conversation, that was amazing. That's one of the conversations I wish that was recorded as far as unreleased, whatever. But I'd love to watch that one day because I know that was
Well,
crazy as far as what we're seeing.
we have a lot of other good episodes as well, like the world issues one, which the audio didn't come through, and that was an amazing episode.
Yeah, we
We
learned.
yeah. Well, we learned a lot. We honestly, I want to say for the 200, like 100, or however much we filmed, or sometimes we'd film stuff and it wasn't even recording. But for every time that we were doing something, it legit taught us a whole new section.
Hello.
I am still here,
Yes, I'm here
but
as
I thought
well.
so. Were you singing the song by Adele? Hello.
No, it's just Mike Brahms. You know how it goes. Like check one, two, 1, 2.
Ah,
We back. We back. We back. We're rocking. We live. So until then, we're just waiting for Vash with the V to join us.
why do you keep
So
saying Vash with a V?
some people spell it a different way.
Okay, that's weird.
I know. You meet some weird people in the world, but we're waiting for him to join. Until then, we'll just keep talking and give you guys what you want. Have you guys been swimming? Make sure if you're gonna go swimming, do not go swimming with others. Not more than 5 people in the
Have
pool.
you seen the people at the lakes, bro? I was at the lake the other day. Everyone's swimming in the lake.
Which lake?
Ontario,
Which no, but which park did you go to?
Coronation in Oakville.
We're so. Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. You told me. 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 Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, everyone's in the waters, bro. Like people, I know it's summer. We love summer. We don't take it for granted, but still, your health is everything. Your health is everything. Health is wealth. Forget money. Health is wealth. Always, always, always. Tim Hortons. The
Health
point is, health is wealth.
always Tim Hortons.
We got to make sure that
So
we stay alive.
until this bucket, this guy, man, he's having technical issues.
Oh, that's what he said?
Yeah, shake my head.
Is he using an iPhone 5?
I have no idea.
So yeah, until then, Vash is trying to join. I guess we'll keep on talking. Another thing I want to tell everyone is, to everyone that likes us, give yourself a high five. Maybe like, I don't know, pat yourself on the back. You know, maybe like go and tell your parents, oh, I found this show called The Ways. It's Osama and Mohammed. They're very good. I think I should listen.
I
And
like
then
that. I like that.
and then if your parents give you a good response, give them a hug, high five, pat them on the back. And like, you know what? I'm okay. Tell them I'll be back. And obviously just come back with flowers or a cake or maybe cookies or something, whatever.
Did you say cookies?
Yeah, who doesn't like cookies? But the point is,
Well, you know what? Speaking about cookies, guys, I want to tell you a story. So one time I was chilling with Mohammed, and there's this amazing place in Georgetown. That's
Hey, what's going on, man?
wow, you finally joined, eh?
hey,
Yeah, yo, it wasn't working, man. It wasn't working.
Yeah. Guys, I just want to let you know that Vash, a friend of mine, has an iPhone 3. So this guy, this guy's having technical issues, texting me like, "Bro, I can't join."
It's not even like that. It's not even like that.
It is like that, which kind of leads us to our topic about technology. Go get a new phone, bro.
Soon come, soon come.
Anyways, Vash, I want to introduce you to my co-host, my brother from another mother, Mohammed.
Mohammed, how you doing, brother?
I'm good. How are you, man?
I'm all right. I'm all right. Thanks for having me on the show, man. I really appreciate it.
Thank you
Yeah,
for
yo.
coming on. We're excited. We're excited.
I'm kind of excited for this episode
Why, Osama?
just because Vash is the legend, bro. That's all I'm gonna say.
How do you guys meet? How long you guys know each other for?
Honestly, I don't want to mention the person that led us to meet, but yeah, I think I've known you since what, 2015, 2014?
Yeah, around 2015, yeah.
Yeah, I want to say like 6 years. 6 years I've known Vash for.
Yeah. Yeah, we also have mutual friends in common. One of my buddies from high school was actually probably in the same program as you when you were in
Andre.
college. Andre, yeah.
Yeah, shout out to Andre. Shout out to Olivia, who was on last time as well.
Yeah. I listened to the show. I thought it was great, man. You guys spitting facts back to back to back facts.
Jeez,
It's amazing. Thank you, man. I
drop some
appreciate it.
Drop some bars.
No, because the funny thing is, like, the reason why we stopped, because we stopped for like 5 or 6 months.
Right.
And the thing is, it's not that we stopped because we wanted to, because we're going through a lot of like personal issues and stuff as far as like the team and everything, right?
Yeah.
Got
The
you.
thing is, before we stopped, like, we're asking people, do you guys like the show or not, right? And the fact that no one said anything was very tough, obviously, right? So when we stopped and went on a hiatus, everyone's like, bro, where's your show? We miss you guys and all that stuff. And I got so angry because I'm like, bro, why don't you guys say this when we're live for the first time, right? But obviously, let you know that people are always listening no matter what. So you got to be consistent, truthful, and the people will let you know, right?
And Vash, you also, do you remember Nick, the guy that used to work at your Walmart?
Yeah, the guy that does the
Google stuff.
The Google stuff, yeah.
Yeah. So he would always ask him because he's one of the people that you want his opinion because he's really down and direct.
Yeah.
And he would never say anything. So then he would ask me and Muhammad. I'm like, bro, why aren't you saying anything from before?
I forgot about that. Shout out to Nick.
Yeah, but guys, so I do want to mention that just leading on to technology. So I was texting to Vash. He was like, "Yo, bro, I wanted me to come on, and I like the show's vibe." I'm like, bless. I'm like, I always like giving people the opportunity to come and see what they want to talk about. And he talked about technology.
Yeah,
And
like
go
ahead.
Bro.
Yeah, I'm really tech driven. Like, I think like I listen to all your shows. Like I said, you guys are spitting facts, but like I think I was giving Osama the idea of technology and how there's I guess how does it hinder us as society or individually? What are some misconceptions out of technology? Like, how can we work with it? How could it work against us? And I just wanted to bring that up and see like how like it affects people in different ways.
Yep. The easiest thing I would ask everyone, you two, how long have you guys gone without technology within the past 6 months?
Are you mad?
How long?
Bro,
Ooh.
never. With Corona, let me tell you something. Ever since the pandemic happened, what, like, I want to say mid-March?
Like, when was the last time you went like one day without using your phone, laptop, or anything? Can you remember the last day?
Do you want to be serious right now, bro?
Serious.
I don't remember a time where I went without technology.
Isn't that crazy?
Yeah, I don't. I probably have to go back to when I was 6 years old, bro. That's how far I have to go back.
Yeah, man. I think like before I got, say, like even then I had video games, but even before I had like my first MP3 player, I wasn't uh really into technology.
Hmm.
I mean, you know, you're at home, you're a kid growing up, you obviously have televisions, you have your video game consoles, you have access to so the internet somewhat. But until I got my first MP3 player, I think that's when I was into technology, like just starting to download music, how I could teach myself how to do different things on the computer, like basic stuff like that. And then eventually I got
LimeWire.
LimeWire, man.
Classic.
That's where it was. That's where it was. And I guess like from there is when I took a jump into technology, like around early high school, and I started getting into the computers, computer programming, hardware, software, like stuff like that.
The thing is, just like you guys, it wasn't until I went to Ghana last year in December when I went to
Oh
Ghana for
yeah,
2 months. That was the first time I was without technology for at least like 2 weeks or like 3 weeks in a row. And my
yeah.
mind went crazy. But at the same time, it was the most beautiful and blissful thing in the world.
It's
Because
yeah, of
obviously we're
course.
so dependent upon it for everything. When you're in a society, a third world country, where obviously they do everything by hand, and a society where they actually need people to do certain things, like everything. Like here, like we could do most things in a day without having to talk to someone, which is beautiful. Obviously, we're more efficient. We get things more done. So therefore, we're very hyperactive as far as numbers, productions, all these different things. But in different parts of the world, they rely on each other. They still rely on each other. So therefore, technology is not as prominent, not as driven, because obviously they don't know as far as the skills, as far as education, computer skills, literations, and literacy, as far as financial stuff and all these different things. So they're very, very more interaction as far as humans and as far as togetherness as a society, right? So when I saw that difference when I went to Ghana, I was so shocked and amazed, and my body felt like I was in a trance as far as like being in like heaven, because you realize that the world is a beautiful place. You start to see everything. You appreciate the trees, the flowers, the ground, the people, all these different things, the air, the weather. But when you're in such a technical, logical driven place, everything goes by so quick because you just focus
Hmm.
on the present moment, and the present moment is just consumption of like media, consumption of news, and all these different things. But it's isolated. It's not with people. So I thought that was pretty amazing as far as to seeing the difference.
100%. I think like with technology nowadays, like we're missing so much. Like you said, we're so technologically focused on different things. Like you can have a meeting for work, you can have an appointment to go to the dentist, and what do? We put notifications on our phones for that, right? Like
Yeah.
speaking like verbally with people is so like way out there now. It's almost like weird to like to have verbal communication with somebody on the phone or even in person because everybody's texting.
Yep.
Yeah.
And once you take that step back, that small step back in time, because it wasn't that long ago when we weren't texting, people look at it as really weird, and it kind of shocks me because where's that like communication? Like, because if you were to text somebody, for example, there's going to be a lot of miscommunication on how texts are interpreted.
Of course.
You
It
could be
happens all the time.
you could be saying something as something so pure, something so genuine, or even a joke, and it can backfire you within seconds.
That
Yep.
happened. That happened to me. But not like not an extent, but one time, uh, I was texting Mohammed. This is like last year, the summer. He was going like he was going to do something, and he said something to me. I'm like, bro, are you accusing me right now? But then because he was also at a party, so do you remember this Mohammed?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
And I'm
yeah.
like, he called me like, no, 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 I wasn't accusing you. I'm telling you what this person said. I'm like, bro, like this whole time I couldn't enjoy my day.
Yeah,
I saw this guy
context does
trying to
not
call this guy,
equate in text.
but
Not 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 in the slightest.
Not at all. It's pretty
the way
sick.
the way I look at it is that technology obviously has its positives and negatives. Like for us, we're fortunate enough to obviously be born in the era where we saw technology fully flourish and start from like I want to say the acceleration point of going to the top. Like we saw like how internet legit advanced because at that point internet was only what 5 years old because it came out in 1995. So at that point we really got to grow up because that at that point internet was a little bit advanced from what other people say from like when it first came out, and we saw
Right.
it now. It's like it's fully advanced. You saw phones like I remember my first phone was a flip phone, which I still have somewhere in my
Right.
room.
Right.
And I remember like you guys talking about texting, you'd have to press like legit one button to like or more than one button to like get your text across as opposed to
Yep.
having a keypad.
Yep.
T9
I
texting,
remember.
man.
But it's yeah, man, like those 9P, like yeah, bro, like and then like I had prepaid too, so like my parents were too cheap to buy me a phone at one point, so like nah. So I remember like I finished my $10 in a
Same.
day.
My mom only put in $10 for the first week of high school, and I finished it within the second day. And I didn't. She didn't put in any more money until I got my own job and my first phone. 15 when I worked at McDonald's. My first phone was BlackBerry Curve. Yeah,
Yeah,
BlackBerry
yeah,
Curve.
yeah. The BlackBerry Curve, man.
My first phone was well, I had like prepaid phones, but I don't really count those because prepaid phones aren't
Yeah, I
just
don't
like
count. I don't count those.
those like they're not even meant to be on contract. My first contract phone I was 16 years old. I had the BlackBerry Torch, and that's at the time when you think of it, bro. BlackBerry was like on the new like they were like innovating, and then they died off pretty quickly.
Yeah,
Yeah,
BBM was everything in those
Oh,
days.
BBM, jeez, that was like sliding the DMs, bro.
the BBM ping, the
The
I miss it. I miss the ping. I wish this one for Android and iPhone. I'd help so much. You should bring it
dude,
back.
BBM, I want to say did definitely change because like you can have, I'm pretty sure you could have could you have group chats in BBM or no?
Yeah, I
I
think it
think
was
you
one.
I
could.
believe there was, yeah.
It was
Yeah,
one of the early forms to do group chat.
and
Yeah,
and also it was legit like the pre iMessage, bro. If you had an iPhone pre iMessage, that was
It
legit
really
what
was.
BBM
It really
was.
it
was. I
was.
think, I think, even before that, even before BBM and the pre iMessage, if you want to hit your friends up, if you wanted to hit a girl up, if you wanted to get into a group chat, you
Oh,
already know what it is. Windows Live Messenger, man.
Ah,
MSN Messenger was the real
MSN.
version.
MSN, the Windows Live, MSN,
I knew this guy was gonna say that.
Yeah.
ICQ, or whatever it was called, like the original messaging services,
Yeah.
American Online, AIM messaging. Like it's crazy how much you see like from technology from like the early
Bro,
2000s implemented in like our
let me
daily like lives now.
let me
It's
tell you
true.
about I'm gonna tell you about MSN because before MSN had video call, because I remember the longest time it was just only audio.
That
Yeah,
webcam.
yeah.
And I remember like you would go from home. I remember I would go from home and talk to my boys like Mo and like my other friends. I'm like, yo, guys, what's up? You did your homework? Nah, bro, we're not doing no homework. We were, and then like I remember video calls happened. It was insane, bro. Like you get to see your friend. Like I remember when webcams became a thing.
Oh my god.
I actually still have a webcam
Oh, really?
for a tower based computer. Like it hooks onto like the monitor and it's like flexible. And you can just put it on top. I still have one.
It's
Damn, that's insane.
crazy.
That's
Yeah, so
insane.
I
That's
believe
insane.
it's Logitech. I still have it somewhere. It's like in a
Not
box.
at the top of
Jeez, that's
webcams.
the top of the mountain, dog.
You ever used to open up the Future Shop and Best Buy ads, the newspapers, the flyers, and you see all these webcams by Logitech and all these different companies for like $29.99 and like $59.99. Oh, those are the
Yeah,
days. Those are
yeah.
the days.
And look at that. We have webcams built right into our phones now,
The best of the best.
Dude,
right?
like you know the thing is though when you talk about technology, and I want to ask you guys' opinions about this. It can in we know these people, all of us, it definitely can affect your mental health. The more you consume yourself within technology, and you see things that you're not like. Sometimes you see stuff, and obviously it's gonna affect you. So, what do you guys say about technology and mental health and how it relates?
Technology and mental health. Like obviously, you're gonna see like you're gonna see things like you're gonna see something new every day, right? So you're gonna see something new that you have never been exposed to before. Some things you will like, some things you will not appreciate as much. Some things could possibly hurt you. Some things could possibly like give you that extra power, that motivation to do things. Like if you see like a daily quote, for example. But like mental health wise, a lot of people are dependent on technology a little too much. There are some. I
Yep.
have some coworkers that and they're you know older than us, and they weren't born into the technology like we were. But it's crazy to see how dependent they are. Like I had a coworker and she came into work. She said, "Oh my goodness, I forgot my phone at home. What am I gonna do? I need to text so and so. I need to call so and so." I'm like, you have a work phone. Like you understand you can dial the area code and call whoever you need to call, right?
Yeah.
But it just goes to show like how much we're attached to our technology, our cell phones prominently. TV,
Yeah,
like TV is an escape, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh,
bro.
like social media, that's I think that's where mental health gets serious within social media.
Well, technology, well, obviously, social media is related to it in a sense, obviously speaking. But I just feel when like technology, like you're talking about like your friend, like your coworkers, you're mentioning, and them like they need your phone to call someone. I remember at points, bro. Like if I ever got in trouble at school, you had to go use the office phone and go like expose yourself in front of the teachers.
That's right. That's right.
You're like, actually, one time, you know what I did one time, but this is like how devious I was, bro. A kid. One time, I hated French class, by the way. Legit hated French, bro. So
Same.
anything to do with French, I did not want to deal with it. So I didn't do my French homework, and this is like grade 5. And I remember like they asked, like I was one of the guys that had to go call my mom saying I didn't do my French work. All I said, I spoke in Arabic because they never knew I spoke. I said, yeah, my mom wanted to speak in Arabic, so have to speak in Arabic. I'm like, yeah, mom, this teacher's dumb. She just wants me to tell her that I say hi, stupid waste of time. Yeah, peace out. And I was about to say I didn't do my homework. I'm not about to expose myself. Get out of here. Hell no. It's already enough. I used to get in trouble a lot. I'm about to say they do my homework. Nah, we're good.
I remember one time I was in high school and I was listening to my iPod in class right as the class ended, and I was putting it away in my bag to go make my way to my locker so I can go to my other class. And my teacher saw me put it away, and she actually gave me a 1 day suspension for having
What
an electronic device in the classroom. Yep, true
was
story,
this?
man.
iPod Nano,
That's
iPod
stupid.
Classic? What type of iPod was this?
This was in grade probably 9 or 10. I
So
want to say it was
Touch,
grade 10, so it was iPod Touch.
iPod Touch. That's
Yeah, like the
crazy.
first gen iPod Touch.
Yeah. Yeah, back then you couldn't have phones in the class. Like teachers would give you like suspension or they give you detention, all these different things. Like it was crazy.
Yeah, you could have phones in the class, but people will still do it, bro. Like, let's be honest
Yeah,
here.
but
Now, yeah, go on.
yeah, but look at classes now. Like ha-
Yeah, I was gonna say that.
half the classroom like learning stuff are on it's on the internet. So of course,
Well,
kids and teens
of
they can whip their phones out and go look at the class a lecture or the
yeah, of
notes or
course,
whatever. Like it's crazy
dude.
how things change.
I remember when I was like, when I was like in grade 8, and I remember like, because obviously, like when you're small, you know technology is gonna advance and keep advancing, regardless of what route it takes. So I remember they would always say, "Oh, you need cursing." I'm like, you don't need cursing, bro. Like the rate that technology is going by, you're never gonna have to write on a piece of paper ever again.
That's
Yeah.
true.
And then I remember in every classroom, there was always one computer, and sometimes they'd get laptops, but you have to share the laptop with a partner. Now I remember when I was working for Google last year, every student needed their own Chromebook, which is insane. Like you're buying someone who's like a 10-year old a Chromebook, bro. A 10-year old when maybe like what 15 years ago or 10 years ago, however old you are, you didn't have no laptop.
That's true. That's very true.
You legit had to go to the computer lab, bro. And you'd play like those fun circus games on the computer.
Yeah, or you go to the library or public library and try to do your schoolwork or do whatever you want to do. Like it's crazy how it advances. And
I actually want to ask Vash a question.
sure.
How do you feel about when it comes to safety as far as like protecting your own identity, your information, all that not being accessed by the government or your own country? Because right now, the huge headline regarding the app TikTok, because TikTok is a very popular app,
Right.
and people are being told, whoever lives in Canada, North America, to delete the app. Reason why? Because apparently China has full access to everything that's on your phone. Not only do they have the access, but they're actually selling your information. And what they're selling is actually everything that's encrypted as far as your phone, your messages, pictures, and all that stuff, right? So
Okay.
right now there's huge debacle because people are like, you know what, I'm gonna delete it. But at the same time, a lot of people are like, you know what, I don't think I need to because everything's on my phone. It's not really important. So pretty much, Vash, is this true that governments and other countries will try their best to use apps to try to get information off your phone? And if that's the case, how seriously should we take it? If I'm a teenager, I'm a young adult, or an adult, or a senior?
Okay, so that's a very, very good question. So there are two sides. There's like two answers for that question. The answer is yes, and the answer is no. So there are a
Yep.
lot of countries that doesn't have like certain copyright laws, or they can do certain things that they want to do. China, for example, um, albeit that they are making products that are sold in the Western society, like phones specifically.
Mm-hmm.
Like look at Huawei, for example. Huawei is going through a really big lawsuit right now for taking users' informations and trying to see what they can make out of it or sell it or see what they're doing based on what they're doing and how they can, I guess, give you relevant ads or relevant apps they can like ping to you.
Yep.
I know people say like Google's always listening or Alexa's always listening, and you know what? To some extent, it is. In terms of like privacy and all that stuff and information, you got to be very careful what you're putting out there.
Yeah.
There are ways to work around that. There are VPNs, if you guys know what VPNs are,
Of course.
virtual private networks. So
Obviously not.
if you were to live in Canada and say you have that TikTok app, you can always spoof your location 100%. So there are workarounds to spoof your location, to not show that you're in Canada, to not show your true IP address, whether you're you know, making a TikTok at home, outside of your home. There are a lot of workarounds. I wouldn't be too worried about social media apps like that
Mhm.
because it's all based on relevancy, I guess, right? Now, if it was more like uh, an website or a program that requires you to pay into it, credit cards, true personal information like driver's license and card number, like things like that, I'd be a little bit more worried. If it's just like a username, password, email, I
Well,
wouldn't be too worried about it.
to add on, just to add on to you guys' points. First of all, I want to say for the longest time now, obviously, like you'll be searching something on Google, but then you'll go on Instagram, whatever you search pops up as an advertisement because now they're putting so much money in SEOs, if you guys know what that is, and obviously other marketing materials where now they have like targeted researchers like giving you stuff on Instagram or social media platforms to remind you, oh yeah, you searched this, you should go see what it is again. So yeah, it's like people are now everything is all marketing, it's all business when it comes to technology. It's like you go to YouTube, you have to see three freaking advertisements before you see a video.
That's very true. That's very true. Well, it's for free services, right? So once the service is free, they need to find a way to make money off of it. Like not everybody's going to be buying premium versions of certain programs. Not everybody's going to be purchasing YouTube Premium or YouTube Red or Spotify Premium and all that stuff,
Hell
right?
no, bro.
So
You think I got money?
so they got to make they got to make their money one way or another in order to give you that free experience
Well,
as best as possible, whether it does contain ads or not.
speaking about money, there was not even rumors. I think now they're pretty much affirmed that the iPhone 12 is not coming with a charging port, nor is it coming with headphones.
Now,
And yeah, go on, brother.
I
I want to
don't
hear your opinion on
I
this.
don't know how true that is. It's a very, very good possibility. I'm not saying it's going to be 100%. I'm not saying it's not going to happen and they're going to ship it. However, it's a good
Knowing
possibility.
Apple,
Knowing Apple,
knowing
I
Apple,
mean,
Apple.
they sold a stand for a monitor for $1,000.
Yes, for the Mac Pro.
there you go,
Yes,
bro.
they sold wheels for their Mac Pro for $700.
Yeah.
They removed the
Apple wheels.
Yep, they removed the headphone jack just to sell a dongle for you to listen to your music. So what they do is they're
So
really,
annoying.
in a business sense, they're very smart in a business sense. So
Smart, very smart.
Of
Yeah.
course.
they create a problem, but they also provide the solution.
No, absolutely.
But at the same time,
Well,
how long
the
can the
solution is going to
consumers?
cost money.
But how long could the consumers take it before they decide to leave for something else? But the thing is, Apple hasn't had the competition yet. There is other companies like obviously, well, before Huawei was able to go through their problems, but you have Google, Samsung, OnePlus, all these different companies. Obviously, they're catching up. Actually, they're kind of arguably making as good phones or better phones than the iPhones. But still, Apple has a huge fan base, the huge supporters, so therefore
Well,
they're able to make products that's very cost effective and a lot for consumers. But how long do
well,
you think before consumers
if
would let go and switch on to other companies?
well, if you're going to break it down, because you spoke about Apple has a big fan base, I think we can all agree that Apple is brand loyal.
Of course.
People who go to Apple, they're all brand loyal. And me specifically, yeah, I have a MacBook. I recently bought AirPods and I have my iPhone. However, I'm not that type of person where I have to buy their products every year. Like, because I forget the law, but I was reading something. I was reading something where technology, you'll see technology change every year, and I think every 18 months, if I'm not mistaken. And within like months, because like for example, Samsung will drop. Like, I don't see that big of a difference sometimes between Samsung and iPhone's phones. I really don't.
Hmm.
So it's always them adding, oh, it's a better camera, similar processor. Like they're not. What else can you do with the processor? Now with 5G, maybe things are obviously going to change.
You know what? There are some phones out there right now that have processors. I know, I'm not sure if you guys heard of this, but Qualcomm is a really
I
popular
heard. Yep, I
company.
heard of that. Yep.
They're probably one of the biggest, I guess, mobile chip processors out there, and their chips are almost as powerful as laptops, if not more.
Insane.
Dude,
It's crazy.
but someone like you, Vash, who's obviously captivated by technology and all these specs, you'll go for that best phone. Someone who's an average Joe just wants a phone due to aesthetics, right?
Right?
And I'll give you an example. So when I used to work for Beats, right? Obviously Beats were decent headphones in the beginning when they were owned by Monster, and then Apple bought them and they went downhill ever since.
Hmm.
And I could tell you, I remember once I was selling. I was a good sales dude. Like I'd sell old Beats. I remember one person was like one of my friends who legit ended my $400 sale. He was like, "Do you want fashion or do you want technology?" And he's like, "I want technology." Then he was like, "Yeah, don't buy Beats then." I'm like, "Bro, $700 gone down the drain." And even though I know Beats aren't really good headphones, I'm just doing my job. I need to meet my quotas. But mind you, iPhone for the longest time, if actually a proven point, they're just more aesthetics than they are technology. If you are a captivated person by if you're a captivated dude by you get captivated by technology by specs, you're not gonna buy an iPhone at
Well,
all.
iPhones, if you look at what Apple's doing right now, they're going with their own
Processor, right?
independent processors and chips on their MacBooks now.
Yeah,
So their next line of
Yep.
MacBooks, they're going with their own independent chips, the Apple
yeah.
ARM
No longer
chips.
Intel.
Correct. If you read and do your research on the Apple chips in the phones, they are one of the strongest processors out there right now on the market. However,
Yes.
here's where the aesthetics come into play because Apple, they're really tight on security and they don't let you take full advantage of that, right?
Yeah,
So
of
Yeah.
course they can't. Like,
they can sell you on the tech part of it, saying we have the best processor, it's this fast, it's almost as fast as like a gaming console, but you don't
yeah.
have that power. And they
Well, again, that's really important.
right? And they cover it up with the aesthetics, with software, with RAM, with how the phone looks, how it feels in your hands, what the camera can do, right? So they kind of cover that portion of it up. They'll still hype it up, but they'll try to cover it up, saying you can't do all of it.
Look,
That's why I'm using an Android.
I obviously have an iPhone. I probably wouldn't. I just like the iPhone simplicity of like the phone, and obviously like I have reasons why I have a MacBook. Obviously for MacBook, in terms of creativity purposes, it's one of the best. Like you're not gonna like in terms of Photoshop, video design, I just feel it's amazing for that kind of artwork. That's why I personally have my MacBook. But the security thing, because I remember when I used to have my Samsung, I would always download APK files, which are huge if you have a Samsung.
Yeah,
But on iPhone, you can't download that because due to the security and how secure the phone is, you can't legit download no files that are not from the App Store.
right.
Now, mind you, obviously this is an individual basis about like what phone you're going to go for. Yes, to me, Apple majority of Apple's customers are brand loyal because you see the same customers in the line every year. People bought the iPhone 11 last year. They're gonna buy the iPhone 12 this year because they just want that new phone. Also, it can go down to status. Them having a new phone, they want to feel almost validated or self-respected.
Yeah, but
And that's what technology does to you.
right. But technology also advances very rapidly, right? So
Yes.
for all we know, like yes, the iPhone 11 Pro just came out like, what last year or earlier this year. The iPhone 12 is coming out. It's gonna be 13, 14,
Yeah.
15, till time's end. But
Yeah.
but although the 12 is coming out, like don't you guys think like the iPhone 13 and 14 is already in like probably almost finished? It's just
Of course. Of
society
course. Of
society isn't
course.
ready for it.
I
Society
I would. Yeah.
isn't ready for a leap, right? And where we are right now, they still aren't comfortable in like the technological state that we're in.
Well,
It goes over everybody's head. Like
if you think about it, like let's talk about like aside from phones, you can talk about TVs. When 1080p became a thing after analog and like digital and all that kind of BS, it was like, oh damn, like 1080p, and especially when PS3 came out around the same time,
mhm,
where now like the screen is so crisp and clear, and it's like you're watching sports, it seems surreal. But now you have 4K, and it's like, damn. But for people who obviously knew 4K was there from a long time ago. Like it was in the Eastern market way long ago. Just that Canada and the way they do business, it's the business side of Canada which allows technology. to take longer to come here. For example, Bell, Rogers, and well, they're the two main provider, and Cogeco. They're three main providers of like cable. It took them a long time to switch to 4K, and they're still switching a lot of channels to 4K. Not every single channel is 4K yet. Some of it is still like 1080p. So obviously, there's so many like laws and regulations you got to pass and wait for. But yeah, going back to your point about the iPhone 13, 14, like God knows what they probably have them in the plans, what they're gonna have, what they're gonna add. It's smart and it's tactics that they're gonna keep implementing. Which brings me back to my next point. Apple's new software update, is pretty innovative. I'm not gonna lie. The one thing I like is the picture on picture. Now you can finally watch YouTube and not have to, and exit the app without having it go
Innovative.
away.
It's already been on Android for the longest time.
I know that, but for Apple, it's pretty innovative, bro. Because it was the most annoying thing going from Samsung being able to do that and going to Apple not being able to do that.
I think it's like what Vash said earlier, like the fact that Apple has everything and like the loyalty, they already have the customers, who are going to buy every single year, as opposed to actually updating their phones, their systems, and everything like they're supposed to, like other competitors. They take their time because they know that people are going to wait and people are not going to complain. Even if they do complain, no one's going to leave Apple because the ecosystem is hard to beat. That's one thing you've got to Apple for. So therefore, I'm going to make you wait until we get to the point where if we don't switch it up right now, everyone's going to complain. So then we'll just make the shift. But the most times, they take their time.
Well, it's also due to the fact, again, a lot of products you have to understand, a lot of people are brand loyal. Like they're never like, even when you come to cars, like look at cars technology. At one point, there was no reverse camera. There was no detectors on cars. There was no power start button where like only have a fob key. Cars have like a lot of things have definitely advanced. Now, for example, you can start like now with I know this technology has obviously been there, but now like with iPhone they're adding, you could start your car from your phone. But it's now they're only doing it to the new BMW model that's coming out next year.
Mm-hmm.
But that technology has obviously been there. Technology has surpassed. I feel when you break down technology in its lowest form from and obviously going down to different products, they've all have surpassed us in way more. God knows what else is there to come.
100%. And like speaking about cars, this just proves how dependent society is on technologies, especially with the phones. You got new cars coming out. You got new technology coming in. Everybody's on their phones, right? They're gonna, no texting and driving. Half the population is gonna listen to that. What did they do? They create a fix. Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. Look at that, texting at your fingertips in your car, right on the touchscreen.
Yeah, there you go. That's one big thing. I remember, like with my car right now, I have CarPlay. So if like as opposed to looking at your phone, you see the notifications pop up. You're gonna it's just more eco-friendly,
right?
That way,
right.
And trying to make and going back to that dependability issue concept. Yes, we become really dependent on technology. Mohammed, he spoke about going to Ghana. And I remember this. I would only speak to Mo once a week. He would call me legit once a week, but when I would text him, I wouldn't get a response maybe 3 to 4 days after because I know he has no access to his phone as much.
Right.
Yeah.
And I remember the first thing this guy told me when he came back. Vash, check this out, bro.
Listen.
That Best Buy. And I forget what was I buying. This is maybe around, I want to say Boxing Day.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember, Mo was like, man, I hate this place. And I'm like, Best Buy? He's like, no. So we're walking out. I'm like, bro, what do you hate? He's like, Canada. I'm like, Canada? Why do you hate Canada? And then he told me, he's like, bro, if you see Ghana, you'll see how beautiful it is and how like people are actually like having that face-to-face conversation. Because Vash, you mentioned earlier now about people, I guess in terms of self-esteem, is going down because now they're it's hard for them to confront people face-to-face. So when Mohammed said that, I was like, no way, this guy just said he hates Canada, bro. After a month and a half of being gone.
Yeah, it really
meant it.
It really is.
Yeah. It's because like we're used to this, obviously, right? This is normal for us. It's a world that we live in, obviously, right? And it's beautiful. There's certain things I'm very proud for, and there's certain things that I love, and I want to take away, obviously, right? But when you go to the other side of the world and you see how people live, and obviously there's certain things that we talk about, but they're actually doing it, and it's so genuine and it's more humane because obviously we're humans. There's certain interactions, conversations, and just like facial expressions that you do not see here on a daily basis. Like you live on your street right now. How much of your neighbors do you really know? Like we know some of our neighbors, a few of them, some move in,
I don't talk to them, bro.
Back home, everyone is best friends. Even if you're not best friends, you're gonna have a conversation for 10 to 20 minutes with everyone and their
Yeah.
kids, because everyone's
No, for
family.
sure.
Like everyone, like when it says it takes a village to raise one person, they actually mean that back home, right? So when you
Yeah.
see that and you see how beautiful it is as far as the people and just the vibe and all that stuff, when you come back here, it's like, oh, we're such in a
So
very, I guess you could say, like such in a very like LTE SIM card social media kind of age, and it's just so annoying because you're so isolated.
like
And the thing is, a lot of people are actually lonely, right? Like we're able to interact with our friends so much, but you're still
yeah,
lonely at the end of the day because you're just by yourself on your phone or your laptop in your room
yeah,
or some part of your house. You're still lonely at the end of the day,
yeah.
right? So seeing
100%.
that difference
You
is
know,
huge.
I actually remember, Mohammed, you FaceTime me one time when you were in Ghana, and it was snowing here. And I'm like, "What's up?" He's like, "Bro," I remember he didn't know it was snow, but he said, "Yo, is it snowing outside?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's like snowing like no tomorrow." And he wanted to show his cousins snow because obviously in Africa you don't see snow. You don't even know what white is.
Oh yeah.
So I go outside, and they're like, their eyes are stuck to the phone. And they're looking, it's like, where is this guy coming from?
Yeah. Is this heaven?
Yeah. And then they're like, yo, so because they thought me and Muhammad lived close, but obviously like this guy lives 5 minutes away from me by
Yeah.
car.
Hmm.
So he's like, Muhammad's like, yo, they're asking where my car is. I'm like, yeah. So I just pointed at the random car. I was like, yo, that's his car right there. Like, that's where Muhammad lives. But dude, his cousins were so glued to the fact that he's FaceTiming someone. God knows where he is.
Yep.
A whole different part of the world. So that, in a way, was also like a mind-blowing
Amazing.
factor.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Certain things technology does that you will never take away, obviously, right?
100%. Just like how Muhammad just said, like back home, like not a lot of technology, or even if there is, it's very little, and
Yeah, very little.
you'll be talking to strangers, like
And hella expensive.
yeah, you'll be talking to strangers like their friends or family, and you get that 10 or 20 minute interaction with them. Like I remember the first time, like I guess I didn't realize this at the moment, but as I aged, I kind of realized. I remember the first time when I saw or realized that lack of communication through people in person. Like I like, for example, back in high school, people would go on Facebook. Facebook was a big thing,
Ooh.
and they would do those status posts they would
Yeah.
say, leave a like, and I'll tell you something about you.
Oh my gosh.
And there's like
Yeah.
200,
We're all guilty of that.
200
We're all guilty of that.
230 likes, and they'll say one quality they like about you or what they think about you, whatever it may be. And I'm like, now that I think about it, I'm like, why did you have to take this to like social media? Why couldn't you say this to somebody in person? Be like, hey, I think you're a cool
Yeah.
guy, or I think you're a really cool girl. You know, you seem funny. But that's how, when we start being consumed with technology, we lack that confidence to tell people up front in person.
It's true, man. He's totally, because if I go on my Facebook and go down to like, what is it, 2011, 2012?
That's it,
Yeah, you
man.
see a
Yeah.
bunch of those, like the people leaving comments on your thing. I like about you, your afro, the fact that you're funny and all this different stuff like that, whatever. But it's like, yeah, you could have just said this in person, obviously,
Well,
right?
Exactly,
you know,
exactly.
me and Muhammad spoke about this before. Technology has given you the ability to be two-faced. You're fake behind your phone or your device. Like, for example, like the biggest thing I could see is like when if you're playing on the PlayStation, like Xbox, whatever system you're playing on, and you're talking trash to other people, but in person you're like the most calm dude. You're probably scared of like confrontation. Look what people have done. Like, you're able to like talk trash over a device or over a platform, but then in person you've never spoken to that person ever in your life.
Don't even get me started with different video game platforms, man.
Yeah, because you're trash, bro. Look, I want to let everybody know. No, I'm playing. I just want to prove a point that I'm joking.
Oh, someone's the type of guy to go and play NHL 20
Oh my god.
and trash talk, and he could be catfishing for all we know.
That's true. I agree.
You know what's funny? You know, trash talking can backfire. So I just want to prove a point. One time I was talking to one of my friends. I was like talking my talk. I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna slap you. I'm gonna beat you. Even though I won, I was talking as if I was gonna like destroy him.
Oh yeah.
The game was so time ago. What the f, bro? I was emasculated. I couldn't even show my face.
What system do you have, Vash, for gaming?
I
He has a
personally
Wii.
never that. I personally play, my console of choice is PlayStation. I've been PlayStation loyal.
Bless.
Facts, yo, facts.
Good.
You know what? Can I ask you guys a question?
What?
What's your favorite PlayStation system ever so far?
Ooh.
Ooh, honestly, man, I'd probably have to go with it's definitely not the PS4. I'll say that right now. Nothing against the PS4. I just it's different. I really like the PS3.
Same.
I really like the PS3 with it was innovative into a point
Yeah.
where when it first launched, it literally did everything. Like
Everything. Yeah.
When Sony said it only does everything, it only did everything.
It was perfect.
It was.
You
Yeah.
know,
It was for
yeah.
that era. But my all-time favorite PlayStation had to be the PlayStation 2.
For
It had to
me,
be the
it's
PlayStation 2.
yeah. For me, it's PS3. Only reason why I had a PS2, but my dad was so cheap, he never bought us a memory card. So we played the games, you played the campaign.
More than once.
But if you knew you turn off the system, you have to start all over again. So you know how many times I have to play Call of Duty 3 and like all these different games to start all over again? So it was like, bro,
Dude,
I just told myself,
actually,
I'm just gonna go to my friend's house and just play COD or whatever. I'm just gonna wait until the next PlayStation. So PlayStation 3 was the first time internal storage. So I could actually save everything, and that was amazing. So
And it's crazy back in the PlayStation 2 days how memory cards worked. Like the maximum capacity for memory card was only 8 megabytes. 8 megabytes.
it's crazy.
Like what is that? That's not even two
Nothing.
songs nowadays, right?
That's like
Dude, but
three pictures, three high quality
tell you
pictures off your phone.
Right?
to add on to Mo's point, I want Mohammed's point, sir. I was gonna say, yeah, the memory card thing. I didn't have a memory card for the longest time. So me and my brother would be playing all these games, Star Wars, or like Modern Warfare, all these games, and we'd have to redo the levels, bro. But by far my favorite system, I'm not gonna lie, and I wish I still had it, was my first PSP when it came out. I love that system.
I still have it, man.
I hated the
You're
PSP,
lucky.
man.
I loved it, bro.
I love the PSP because the PSP was way ahead of its time for when it launched.
It was.
By far. So what it was, they took like the qualities of the PS3, even though the PS3 wasn't out yet, made it into the handheld form with PlayStation 2 style graphics on the go. That was ridiculous. Like I remember playing Grand Theft Auto on the go. I was playing God of War on the go.
Chinatown?
Yeah. No. Vice City and Liberty City Stories.
Oh man.
Yo, classic.
God of War,
yeah.
Ratchet and Clank, like all those games on the go. It was unreal. Not only was it a gaming system, it was a MP4. You could watch movies on it, like HD movies. You could put music on it. It was an MP3 player. There was a web browser built into it. Like
now I know why I hated the PSP. I didn't hate it because like you said, it was ahead of its time. Everyone that owned it, I didn't like. That's the only reason why. Like everyone in school that had it in elementary school,
I had it.
Them.
That's what
we were friends at the time. Everyone that had it, I didn't like them. That's
Mo was like, yeah, everybody had a PSP. He's like, "Bunny, you bro, we're not friends no more."
I remember I actually had to like do chores to get a PSP, man. So like I'd get money and like I'd save up all my money just to go buy it for my birthday. I think I got it when I was like 12 or 13 years old.
I actually remember I think I was in grade 6 when I got my PSP, and I remember it was like Eid, so my parents were like, "Yeah, you guys can get whatever you want." But I think mine was like, someone must have returned it, so it was like an open box, which was like obviously due to like immigrant parents. You obviously know they're gonna buy the cheapest item. I'm like, I didn't even care. I just want the PSP, bro. And I think the first 2 games I got, I think one of them was it must have been I know one of them was I know one of them was NHL.
Mm-hmm.
The other one must have been like a car game.
Yeah,
I forget, but like
like it's crazy to be in like 2006, 2007 to have that much power in your pocket. It's
incredible,
it's unreal, man, unreal.
Yeah, bro. And then it freaking broke, and I got cheesed, and my parents wouldn't fix it.
Yeah, the PSP was amazing, ahead of its time. It was insane. Like, bro, that's another reason why I hated PSP. I didn't hate it. It was the people. You know, you go on a field trip. They did everything within a field trip. I see them watch a movie, listen to music.
It's not like you were jealous,
play
bro.
the games. Well, not yeah, it's because now I realize it. But they did everything within the field trip. I'm like, what the heck? What is this system?
Do you know that Sony actually made a cell phone with the built-in PSP?
I think I remember that. Yeah.
It was called the Sony Xperia Play.
Yeah. I remember that.
So basically, like it's slid up sideways, and then like the analog buttons were like it's like touch sensitive, and it had like all the PlayStation controls on it. It was I like that, man.
It didn't last, obviously didn't work, but that was pretty cool. I thought it was pretty sick. At that point, they're still trying to milk it because everyone's like kind of passed on PS Vita and all that stuff, whatever. But that was a pretty cool concept for sure.
It was, and that just goes to show, like in that time period when it came out, like how rapidly like technology can advance, right? Like, and we're not even at the peak yet.
Not even close.
We're not even
Well,
close.
I'm kind of hyper PS5 because of the cross compatibility. You know, you're able to play PS4 games.
That's
So
right. Yeah.
if you're a cheap mandem out there, bro, and you don't have to buy games. Hey man, I don't know why y'all laughing, but listen, like this is really important, bro. I'm not trying to spend money.
I don't think anybody is, man. Like, I think the price is gonna be a little expensive for the new
I
console
think
for what it
I
can
think it's
do.
gonna be four. I think it's gonna be like 499 Canadian American starting, sorry, which will round up to like almost $7 Canadian, which is
Yeah, I think
insane.
it's gonna be 600, 600 to 700 for sure.
So what's interesting is U.S. market prices are actually carried over as the same price in Canada for certain things. Like I remember in the PlayStation 3, they revised it. I guess they made like that slim model, and
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
they announced it's gonna be
Yeah.
$299 everywhere. It was $299 US, but it was also $299 Canadian dollars. So I think
Mm.
a lot of the U.S. prices that they announced will be the same in Canada.
Yo, why are you capping?
Okay, well,
No cap,
Nah.
no cap. Unless they
people are
change
definitely
it,
gonna use their serb check to get a PS5 for sure. So
probably, man,
it's gonna be interesting.
probably.
Yeah, they definitely use their Sharp check to get a PS5, 100%. But you know, no, I'm not about to do that. And dude, I can say one thing about technology, like all jokes aside.
Sure.
When you were a kid, right? And then you're like, yo, imagine a touch phone, imagine a waterproof phone, imagine this, imagine that. Now you can still imagine, but it's just like you're just waiting for what's next. Like you're waiting for that next big thing. Because when you were a kid and you like the first touch phone screen came out, you're like, damn, like they did it. Like what's next? Like when you're a kid, your imagination will spur to like a million things. But now it's just like it's hard to believe certain things are coming to existence in your lifetime.
It really is. It really is hard to believe. Like, look at Samsung. They came up with the Galaxy Fold. Like, it's a phone that turns into a tablet. Like, what? Like, I was not expecting that. Like, who would ever think that you could have a phone that transforms into a tablet in the palm of your hand?
Bro, I'm just waiting for like exactly that's it. That's an amazing point. I'm just waiting for like the next legit big thing. Like you see within cars, TVs, you see within phones, you see them like Apple Watches, like freaking Fitbits. You see now, like, bro, like I'm telling you, is this gonna be like I don't know. I can't put my words into like a sentence right now in terms of like how technology can grow. We touched on social media. Like social media at one point was non-existent, and then like near the 2010s era, it became the next big thing.
100%,
So
man.
who
Yeah,
knows?
like, it's crazy how big of an impact it has on us, but like, it also like hinders us like as
Yep,
society. Like,
yep.
100%, 100%. Like, I think right now with like the whole pandemic going on, I know like this is probably not like I guess nobody saw it coming, and it probably wasn't like the best time to roll this out. But the 5G technology,
Yeah.
I think there's like a lot of misconception on that, in terms of how it hurts us, and how it can make us sick. Because if you look at it, they say like, oh, all this radiation's going on, and certain altitudes you can get hurt by it because of the radiation. And
Mhm.
Yeah.
I'm like, well, just because it's new technology doesn't mean it's going to be perfect when it starts, right? There could be
Of
hiccups
course.
here and there, but I think some people are taking it to the next level because if you look around you, you're not going to see it. But
Nope.
we're enclosed in radiation 24/7,
Yep.
right? If you step out of your house, you're in radiation because of all the 3G towers, LTE towers,
Everything.
Wi-Fi signals. You heat up your food in the microwave right beside you. You turn your television on. You're speaking on the phone. You're texting. That's still radiation
Yeah.
going into your body, and you're actually closer to it when you're near those devices rather than you are outside,
Hmm.
right? So how is a 5G tower with its supposed super radiation going to hurt you so much versus your cell phone radiation? Because mind you, once your cellular data is turned on, or even if it's not turned on, you still have that radiation coming out of your phone.
No,
It's
absolutely.
right in front of your face, right? So
You could you
there's a lot of
well you
Go ahead.
I was gonna say you could have said it better.
Yeah, there's
Obviously, people pick and sorry to cut you off, but people pick and choose what they choose to believe and what they choose to not believe. So yes, you mentioned a lot of valid points. Yet people want like when they hear something on the news, they believe it 100%.
yeah, they do. And I think that's what like that's another thing with media. Yeah, it's news is like live social media, right? Because
Yeah.
people can post on social media, oh, this happened or this allegedly happened, and the news is just like a live action version of it, right? There's gonna be a headline saying, oh, 5G towers are going up. Oh, keep an eye out, or whatever it may be, right? But it's not gonna hurt you substantially,
Yeah.
No,
right?
definitely. Well, if you're someone like Vash who obviously does his research and knows technology really well, you're not going to get influenced by what people say on the media. So be a Vash, people.
And the thing is, like, we're just at the beginning, like you said, of technology, phones, laptops, and everything. Everything reached our peak. Also, virtual reality is really in its infancy right now, right? Like,
Yes,
remember
it
the
is.
Google Glass and all these different eyewears, like all these different things. Like, I'm excited to what's going to happen to virtual reality 10 years from now. It's going to be incredible as far as the
Yeah,
interactions and developments and companies and products. It's going to be insane.
It's going to be all right, bro. What are you talking
I
about?
think it's gonna blow up like in the near future.
Huge.
I'd give it about, and I don't want to say anytime soon. I'd give it about maybe like 5 to 7 years,
Yeah, yeah.
and you can see how, and it's not really virtual reality, but like certain, I guess, parts of it, certain parts of the technology. How I'm going back to Apple now. They're actually using it. They're creating Apple glasses,
Yes.
right? And they're using that VR, somewhat of the VR technology, to project images into the lens of the glasses so you can see it and interact with it.
I remember Microsoft was supposed to do the same thing, but it never came out.
I didn't know Microsoft was doing that. I had no
Actually, no,
idea.
not it's not eyewear. It wasn't the eyewear. It was I think they were launching something a few years ago. I remember they had this video of something showing around the room, and it was like different objects popping out and stuff. I think it was a laptop. I don't know if it was like the Surface Pro. I forgot which one it was, but it was like a few years ago. But yeah, that product never came out as far as the future, as far as the VR.
Yeah,
But yeah, I agree with you. 6 to 7 years definitely will be way more better. 10 years
yeah,
for sure is gonna be like the new medium as far as interactions, social media, apps, people talking from
Dude,
stuff like that, ordering food, all these different things. Like VR is going to be insane 10 years from now.
it really is.
technology is technology is going to keep growing, and I don't see it stopping. Obviously, we're advancing as a society. We're becoming more dependent. Obviously, future down the kids down the road, the kids' futures down the road are going to be more dependent. The more kids, like, bro, if you give a kid right now who's 5 years old or 3 years old a freaking tablet, they're going to know how to use it because it's just like they're almost built into knowing how to use this.
That's right. Yeah, they're growing into the society of where technology is already at it's at like a sweet
Right?
it's at a sweet medium right now,
So
and
the
kids actually learn a lot through technology from tablets.
they're much more advanced than you obviously think. Like, yes, technology has its ups and downs. Yes, it has its negatives and stuff like that. However, if you know what to go on and what to search and what to use, yes, it's gonna help you benefit. Like we spoke about, we like right now we're hitting an hour mark on this podcast, and we spoke about so much in terms of like how much it's blossomed from we known until now, and obviously going further down the road.
That's right. Yeah, it's almost surreal. Like how like I can't wait to see what it's gonna be like 20 years from now.
I'm waiting, bro.
What do you think is gonna happen to movie theaters? Obviously, with the COVID, everything happening, like, how do you think movie theaters gonna evolve in the future?
Ooh, that's a very good question. That also comes back to VR, right?
Yep.
That's I'm gonna go back to that. Like I think you can like I think with the whole pandemic going on right now, I know movies were you were able to watch them online if you paid for it online
Yeah.
because all the movies now they're not on reels, they're all digital, right? So even if you want like that first person experience, like if you are at the movies, you want that somewhat of a widescreen, like right up on your face, right through VR, man. That's what it's gonna be. Pay your
You
subscription fee,
know,
you're gonna watch it.
you know what I, you know what I feel is gonna happen. You know, like right now when you want to see a 3D movie, they make you put 3D glasses on.
Yeah,
I feel that there's gonna be a time and a place where you go into theaters and you have to wear a VR, and then it's like all like surround sound. It's all gonna be like it feels like you're actually in the movie. So imagine like you're in a video game, but you're like you put the VR on and you're in the movie, and like you enjoy the full experience of the actual movie.
I
That
can see it.
production and budget is gonna be next level as far as like a movie like an
Hey,
Avengers movie
man.
being like $250 million is gonna be like at least probably like 500 just for the
Imagine,
VR alone.
Yeah,
but dude,
yeah,
the thing is like because right now it has to get to a point where VRs are able to handle that technology. But that's something that would be sick, bro. Just imagine like
Incredible.
you wearing that device and imagining like because right now you see it within video consoles.
yeah,
With
yeah. I'm also waiting
yeah,
for
but
them to like perfect 3D without the glasses.
yeah,
Um,
well that's they tried to do that, but then I don't think it did that well. But I think they're still trying to perfect it.
yeah, because they couldn't get to that perfection, right? So I'm not sure if you guys are
Yeah,
aware, but there's a Android company called HTC. You guys probably heard of
yeah,
them. But I
yeah.
Of
think back
course.
in maybe 2010, 11 maybe, they came out with a phone. It was called the HTC Evo 3D. And what it was is if you look at the screen like head on and you watch like a 3D movie or a 3D trailer, it's 3D without the glasses. But you had to watch it at that like head on angle, right?
I
Wow.
see what you're saying.
Right. So I'm saying they need to like change it where you can watch it from any angle,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right?
Well, my friend Vash, who sneezed?
No, that wasn't me.
Oh, I was gonna say, well, whoever did, bless you. But I was gonna say, Vash, my brother, thank you for coming on. For coming on,
Thank you for having me, both of you guys. I really appreciated it.
You have to come
you're
back.
welcome. You have to come back because we loved having you on. I want to roast you more.
We do like a
Honestly.
series, like a technology series, and like different products, different like eras of technology, and you
Well,
could be
yeah,
like the
I would
guide.
love that.
100%,
Yo,
man. 100%. I would love to do like if I buy a product, I would love to come on Ways and we can just do like
hey
a
man,
three-way review, get your opinion on it. Like I would love to do that.
They're like some like
definitely.
MKBHD style videos.
That's it, man.
Yo, Vash, where can the followers find you, bro? On Instagram.
You can follow me at _Lekram on Instagram.
Jeez. We'll put the link down below. We'll put his IG handle down below on
Yep.
all platforms. Remember, but I'm gonna say don't follow him. I'm just joking. Follow my guy. Follow my brother. Aside from that, bro, respects. Thank you for coming on. Peace. We enjoyed having you.
Thank you
Thank
so
you for having
much.
me. Thank you again, Mohammed. Thank you, Osama, for having me. I really
You're
appreciate it
welcome,
again.
bro.
Can't
We'll
wait
see
to
you
have you
next time,
back,
brother.
bro.
All right,
Peace.
later.
Peace. I said tease. Peace.
Peace, peace.
Peace. What an amazing episode.
Yeah, this is why the show's amazing. People like Vash, they make it
Honestly,
easy.
bro, like I forgot he knew so much about technology. Like knowing him for that long, I forgot he how knowledgeable he is about technology.
And that's the funny things. We didn't really delve that much into it, right? Most of the
No,
conversations were
we
at the
just spoke
surface level, right?
general.
And the fact that he's so knowledgeable and has a lot of sense and purpose understanding in different fields and areas of technology, it'd be very cool to do like a mini series with it and to have him on as the
Oh yeah,
guest and to really
absolutely.
guide us through the conversation because he's
I
really
would agree.
informative. He knows what he's talking about, and it's really good to have him on the show.
Yeah, 100%. Like I love having him on the show. He's my guy. I haven't seen him in a minute though, but aside from that, he's like just speaking generally, like he got you captivated about certain stuff and got you thinking about the future, like what technologies there could be. But for everyone that's listening at this point, we thank you that you made it this long.
Thank you.
Yeah, you can follow Mohammed at Mohammed.global.
Yep.
You can follow myself at Kusa300 and
Do
our
it.
Waze account, Outways 2.0. Make sure you guys get us to 700 followers, bro. Tell your friends to follow us. We'll follow you back. We're trying to like engage with our fans. But thank you for all the love and support that you guys have given us so far. We'll always drop Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. With that being said, what are you saying? Peace out.
Peace.